Well, it's going to be an interesting season with the numbers that we have. We only have 2 seniors returning, which limits some of our experience. We've got a couple others that have some experience coming back that are underclassmen. So it's going to be a new look for our team. It's going to provide some challenges, but I think it'll provide some interesting basketball as well. And I think it's one of those years where we'll progress gradually. I can't see us taking leaps and bounds, but a team that I think we will be as the season progresses and hopefully for the better. And I think that will happen with the group of kids that we have. We've got a long ways to go in a lot of areas. It's going to be a group that's different from our teams in the past in so much that I think we'll be a better perimeter offensive team. Where we've relied primarily on getting the ball in the paint, I think this team can stretch defenses with our ability to shoot it from the perimeter. We've got a long ways to go defensively. I don't think we're nearly as good as what we were in the past defensively, and that's going to be a challenge for us. It's going to be a challenge for my patience. So it'll be one of those things that just, I think, kind of like I mentioned in the previous question, that gradually we'll get better at, but we'll play hard and we'll get after it. But I think there's some challenges that we do face, and we'll kind of see how these guys respond. It's, like I said, a core group that we have back. It's a very solid group. Our 2 seniors, Terrell and Edie and Ethan Cordray, both are just have really shown their senior leadership in our early workouts with their consistency, how they've encouraged others on our team, especially our newcomers. They've done a very good job of that. And then Sam Pugh and Jake Bullard, our other 2 players who are underclassmen but have experience, have also done a nice job. And so when you only have 4 returners per se, and really only 1 true starter, it poses some problems, and we're going to have some growing pains. But at the same time, I'll say this group has great chemistry. It's a group that works well together. We have challenged this team more than any other with our preseason conditioning, weight training, and then obviously the 2 hours that we have on the floor have been very intense because we are so limited and not allowed the opportunities that maybe our first 2 opponents will have the opportunity to practice. So it's going to be, like I said, a growing process, but I like the chemistry, I like the work ethic. These guys have accepted the challenges that we put up to them, and I think a lot of that has to do with some of the returners' leadership they've shown. They've done a good job, and the one thing we've asked them to do is play their role. They know where they fit, they know what they can do, play to your strengths, stay away from some of the things that you're not as good at, and weaknesses, etc. And they've done a very good job of that. Probably the most impressive has been Terrell. Terrell's going to have to be an impact player for us this year, and he's done a very good job early on with accepting that, doing what he's been asked to do, and we're going to demand an awful lot out of him. I thought he's responded very well to that. Jake, Sam, and Ethan all can shoot the ball extremely well. Jake's a more get to the rim type guy and driver, and I thought what he showed last year in the conference tournament against Central Missouri is hopefully indicative of what we'll get out of him this season. He's a very good player. Sam and Ethan are shooting the ball extremely well right now, and like I mentioned before, we'll be able to stretch defenses. Well, when Bill Self says it's the most talented team he's had in a while, and obviously K-State coming off a Big 12 championship that both teams did, but it's going to pose some unique challenges, but exciting challenges in the same breath. And I know our guys are excited about the opportunity that presents for them and for our team and for our program at Pittsburg State University. And we want to represent the university in a positive light and our program in a positive light. So with 2 weeks of preparation, that poses some challenges. We're going to kind of keep it simple, and when we go into those 2 atmospheres and the crowd involvement and everything that goes with it, it's going to put our guys through some early tests. But I'm very interested to see how we respond to that, and are we going to compete, and are we going to be a team that rises up to some of those challenges? And I think even early on you find a lot out about yourselves, what you're made of, who are your guys that are going to rise to the top when it comes to playing tougher competition. And so it's a good opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it, and I know our players are. I don't see it changing. I think there's a little bit different dynamic in that most teams don't have a lot of returners coming back. There's a lot of kids that graduate from a lot of programs. A lot of programs are like us, where they're starting over with a lot of new faces. So that part of it yet to be seen. We'll see how it plays out, how it develops. This conference is, parity is a word that's thrown around a lot when you talk about our conference, but we physically beat each other up during conference play and take so much out of each and every team, and it's a dogfight year in, year out that it's so unique compared to other conferences where there's a tier of a top group and a bottom group, and in our conference there just isn't as much separation. And so how we fit in, how we continue to develop, can we put our team in a situation and in position to challenge for a conference championship by progressing, by measuring ourselves by our own standards, not necessarily wins and losses, but improving each day based on what we want as a program. And we demand that, and we'll continue to demand that out of our players, and I think by the end of the year we'll be where we want to be.